let's just start with a little bit about you so that the audience, because you're a Bush. Most famously, you're a Bush, and it is that Bush family. So explain a little bit about your background.
From Texas. We're not all from Texas, Megyn. I'm from Manhattan, Upper East Side, New York. Grew up, born at New York Hospital, Upper East Side, 86, between York and East End, and went to school in New York. Then went off to boarding school with Tucker Carlson, who was several years ahead of me, and what an animal he was. He's toned it down in a huge way. We all had a lot of fun. Then I went off to Colby College in Maine, Waterville, Maine, and then took a first job out of college in Lake Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire, on the radio.
Were you knew, like, while in school that you wanted to go into media?
As my dad said, Billy was on the dean's other list. So the grades weren't exactly fantastic. So I knew that there was something I could do with the chutzpah and the energy I had. I just thought, boy, it's probably not a lawyer, doctor, or financier or one of these things. And I found the college radio station and had a ball on that and said, I think this is it. And so I went that way. Yeah.
You were smart. It was a smart move because you're a very smart guy, but you recognized that you had a ton of personality, and there was a way to exploit that God-given gift to do something really fun with your life.
Yeah, I appreciate my parents who grew up in a different era realizing that too, and not shoving me into, the finance world. My dad was a private asset manager and, something safe. I said, they were great and said, no, this is you. Go, which was great.
All right, so explain where you fall in the Bush family legacy.
So the 41st president, George H.W. Bush, is my uncle. My dad was his younger brother by 7 years. And so W, 43, would be my first cousin, of which there are like 16 of us. He's the oldest and I'm the youngest. So most people assume he's my uncle because he's 25 years older, but we are first cousins. Oh, wait.
Did you spend
Yeah. Look, I just saw a great picture in here. Look at this great picture. You'll love this. There I am in the middle of them in a sandwich.
Oh, yeah, there they are, HW and W with Billy Bush in the middle.
Yeah.
So did you spend a lot of time when you were growing up in your formative years at the White House?
No, but I did get one weekend. One time, Mom and Dad were invited to Camp David by Senior, and so my brother and I went along, and afterwards I had a lacrosse trip for my high school lacrosse team starting in Baltimore like 3 days later. And I was like, Mom, do you think I could just stay down there? And when HW heard that, he said, well, you stay with me. And then if you're down there, you got to stay there. My brother was like, you're not staying there without me. So he jumped on. We jumped on Marine One right out of Camp David, landing on the White House lawn. I'm 18. My brother's 21. We go up to the top floor of the White House. HW put a case of beer in the fridge. There was a pool table up there on the 3rd floor. Beautiful views. We were drinking brews, playing pool, and having a blast.
Wow. Little did you know how tame that was compared to how the future presidential son would be living while in the White House and around it. Hunter Biden, your little case of beer seems so innocent.
And then I returned as a young father with my 3 little daughters when W was president. We spent the night and went to the Easter egg roll. And I gave White House bathrobes to all the Jonas Brothers who were performing. I hope they didn't forget that.
So random. So it's fun. I mean, that must have been a fun upbringing to be connected to that kind of power, but not responsible for it yourself. Because when you're the kid of the president, it's a very different story.
Yeah, you got to be really careful. It's actually not the greatest when you get into the Hollywood, world. Other than Jerry Weintraub, who was HW's great friend, it's not maybe the greatest asset. I remember like Rosie O'Donnell, going after me and all the certain, liberal people. I had to be myself. So my first contract with NBC when I first arrived, I made it up. You could not mention that connection because I had to establish myself. So I made it so that they could never bring that up.
Wow. Then you went a different way from what Chelsea Clinton did
emphasis
when she
on the
got to the
Billy
Today
and
Show.
not the Bush. Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, not to mention Jenna. You're too nice to rip on her, but obviously she was interviewing her dad a lot on NBC. Well, there's a track record there.
Well, I said to her, she came to me early in when she was like, how do I get out of this thing? I said, well, listen, here's what you do. I told her about my first contract. I said, they're going to want to keep milking that relationship, and you have a lot of talent. You have a wonderful personality. You can do this. You just say no. And just tell them no. I've done it enough. That's it. And start doing other things. Bring other ideas to the table of things you can do. And she's done fabulously.
Did you know that American homeowners nationwide have over $32 trillion in equity? And cyber criminals are targeting it with a growing scam the FBI calls house stealing. House alarms, doorbell cameras, deadbolts, dogs, they won't work against these thieves because they're not after your stuff, they're after your equity. If your title is not being monitored, scammers can transfer the title of your home into their name, then take out loans against it or even sell it behind your back. The best way to protect your equity is with triple lock protection from Home Title Lock. Triple lock protection is 24/7 monitoring and, God forbid, if the worst happens, restoration services at no out-of-pocket cost to you. When was the last time you checked on your title? Likely never, right? And that's exactly what scammers are counting on. Make sure you're not already a victim, and you can get a free title history report as well as a 30-day free trial of triple lock protection today by going to HometitleLock.com and using the promo code Megyn, or just click on the link in the description. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Megyn, HometitleLock.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.